Hello, welcome back to Mr. Money TV live on Thursday night. We are back
Oh,
after
yeah.
two
After two
weeks of
weeks.
break.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct, correct.
So I'm Peter, Mr. Money.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Frankie from FAQ Show. Nice to see you guys again after 2 weeks.
All right, maybe we ought to give our audience a little bit of update of what's been
Uh,
happening over the past 2 weeks,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So firstly, we decided to take a break. Uh, Obviously, it's because of Christmas and
Christmas and
also
New Year.
New Year.
Mm,
Now we are back. The last
yeah.
episode we talked about some recap of the year and what to look ahead.
Mm,
And today we are going to start our year with looking ahead, obviously.
yeah.
Now, but before that, Frankie,
Mm.
how have you been?
Been great. New year, new set also. Our office. Look at our studio today. We have a brand new set of furniture. I think this is thanks to Maju Home, right? That sponsor us all
That's
these
right.
furnitures. Yeah. So hopefully, New Year, we are able to make more content for you guys. You know, we learn together. In 2025 in this forever volatile market.
That is very true. That is very true.
Mm,
And for myself, over the past 2 weeks, it's been good rest. I would say I celebrated New Year's,
mm,
celebrated Christmas. Most of it, I guess, for us is quite boring, like with kids.
yeah, different kind of celebrations, lah, right?
I mean, nothing exciting. Do you go
Correct.
for any countdown?
No, the kids all fell asleep at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So yeah, lah,
Yeah,
standard lah,
but but
standard.
but but we did have our own family time on the 31st of December, lah.
I see, I see. Yeah. All right. Now, definitely this month's highlight is gonna be Chinese New Year.
Chinese New Year.
Mm.
I think a lot of people will start taking leave second half of January already,
Yeah.
because apart from Chinese New Year, it's also the long holiday break for
That's right.
schools.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. And then once we are done with Chinese New Year, we are preparing for Ramadan. already.
Ramadan, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in March, right?
Non-stop holiday way.
Yeah, that's right. So it almost feels like the whole first quarter is gonna be a bit of a
Yeah. Uh,
non-working period.
engine very hard
Very
to
hard
start.
to start. Start then cold, start
Start
then
cold.
off, start off like that. Like, a bit susah lah, huh?
That's why I just change EV lah. Don't need to worry about engine.
That's a very good segue into it.
Uh,
Is there any EV maker want to work with us? Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, we just did one with BID the other day, right?
BYD.
BYD, but
Uh-huh.
not exactly with BID.
Correct.
But we
With
collaborated with
their
Sime Darby.
distributor. Yeah, Sime
Yeah,
Darby.
and then we use BYD vehicle for one of our shoot.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stay tuned to Mr. Money TV
Yes,
for that.
that's right. Now, maybe let's start today's with a very quick one. What is one achievement for you last year?
One achievement for me is definitely I have made quite a bit of money compared to the year before, which I lose quite a bit of money also. Yeah, so not only I managed to neutralize that loss compared to 2023, but yeah, basically 2024 was a good year lah.
In terms of trading, lah,
In terms of investment,
as a whole. Lah.
investment profit lah, as
That's
a
right.
whole.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Apart
can't-
from that, I think our company also grew as well.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Thanks to you guys who continue to support us. Without you guys, I think today we won't be sitting down here having this podcast with you all.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So I guess for me in 2024,
Mm.
the proudest thing would have been surviving another year, I would say. Yeah, I mean the company grew lah, right?
Yeah.
Surviving another year, I mean by like surviving as in growing as well and making ends meet, and at the same time got results.
Correct.
Now on the other hand, I would say that on a personal investment wise, not that I've done anything great, but
Mhm.
it's just somehow the Bitcoin market went up and generally market went up, and so we benefited from it. Now, and here's where I want to talk about this year, right?
Yep.
When we talk about 2025, what's ahead, there's actually plenty of things to look at. Over the last 2 weeks, one of the few things that came immediately that kind of like a bit of a reverse shock. You know, when Trump won, a lot of people are expecting that Trump would go hard on China. But it looks like the recent news has suggested a little bit of otherwise, right?
Trump has been inviting Xi Jinping over, for some discussion and things like that.
That's
Things
right.
that we didn't think that it would happen, but it happened.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Yeah. So and what are your thoughts about it? Why do you think that this particular president who has kind of triggered the whole US-China trade war, escalated the situation, now suddenly he looks at a friendly party with China?
Now, basically, I think Trump is the kind of person where he will show his authority first, and then once you are being tamed and seem that you are listening to him, then he will suddenly become your friend and say, okay, now let's collaborate, but in
Mm.
my terms. My terms will be A, B, C, D, E. You follow, right? I think China is also smart in the sense that internally themselves they are not doing very well. I mean, they're still having their property crisis. They are still dealing with the unemployment issues over there. They have come up with different stimulus to try to stimulate the private consumption within the economy. But even though China is one of the largest population in the world, but ultimately, if you want to have a complete growth in the economy, you still need to collaborate with the outside world.
That's right.
And collaborating with the US is a natural choice because they're the world largest,
Mm.
right? So if you can work together instead of fighting with each other, I think that will bring collective benefits to everybody. So, and then looking back, President Xi is also the kind of person that is quite collaborative. I mean, with the One Belt, One Road initiatives and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think both of them are playing the balls quite well to start the year.
To start the year.
To start the year, because today is only 2nd of January, right? There's still 360 more days to go. We don't know what is going to happen.
That's right.
But at least that's a good start.
That's right. So I think what's interesting is that when Trump started off threatening everyone in the beginning of it, and once he took on the role right now, about to get into the role, he started inviting China for talks, and I think maybe it will be resolved, right? Why do I say so? Is because there are a few things that come in play. Number one, his biggest supporter, Elon,
correct.
our brother Elon, Mr.
brother,
Musk,
no?
brother Elon. I call him brother lah. He don't call me brother lah. No, because let's not forget he have a Shanghai Gigafactory. Tesla is one of the biggest Tesla biggest. China is one of the biggest consumer, and China has the biggest market in the world. Now, as much as they may not like each other, or like to a certain extent they may have certain competitiveness going on, but for China, US is a key market. For US, China is a key market.
Yeah.
Literally by going into war, right? It's like you chopping left hand or chop right hand. Yeah, you get what I'm saying, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's like, in order to make up to the losses of that market, it may not be worth it.
Yep.
Yeah, it just may not be worth it. Now, and China is catching up so rapidly. And what happens is that if you really try to poke China hard enough, you may end up create a monster out of it.
Yeah. Don't forget, one of the largest holder of US debt is China.
That's right.
Yeah. So US also have to be careful with their moves going forward.
That's right. And definitely China wouldn't want to throw all of it, because by throwing all of it, they're also killing their own reserve. Yeah, they are tanking their own reserve. But for China, they're also tanking themselves. Now, in fact, I think moving ahead, we may see a better collaboration or more recovery between China and US for many reasons. Because if US wants to have an economy recovery, China is probably the place that allows them to see the fastest result. Right?
Correct.
So instead of finding it everywhere else, this could be the case. Now, they also talk a lot about deportation, everything all, but not exactly happening. Not exactly happening. Yeah, not exactly happening.
This one I don't know yet, because technically speaking, he's still not the president yet.
Yeah. But we never know.
Correct.
We never know.
Yeah.
Definitely, what happened there now is that everything is a little bit on the chill side. Now, according to the markets, from what we can see, also the market start to cool down on all the speculation already. Previously, it was much more speculative, and market just shot up and up and up and up. And then we reach a point, I don't know whether it's a holiday effect or whatnot, but generally year end is like that. We enter the year with a more consolidation phase.
Yeah, which is quite unusual, because every year usually people talk about Santa Claus rally. This year, not so much of a Santa Claus.
Already rally before that.
Already rally
Santa
before
Claus
that.
came already. In the form of a Trump.
So he was the Santa Claus.
Yeah, was giving out goodies. Yeah. So there was a Trump pump, right? Trump pump on the market. Correct. So I think already hit the target already. Yeah, because you think about it, right? Makes sense, right? If you're an institutional investor, you operate based on target,
Mm.
right? You know that okay, I'm gonna hit this amount, then it's overvalued a bit. Let's sell
Yep.
before anything happens.
Right.
And I think that this time round, after the Trump pump, um, if you still want to have a Christmas pump, it may be quite crazy lah.
Hard, hard.
Hard to pump, hard
Because
to
your
pump.
base is very high.
Base very high, correct. So
And-
now, in fact, what happened is just sustaining between that,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
the whole market is jumping within that side,
Yep.
and we are seeing Tesla still doing fine.
Mm.
I think it's gonna be quite an interesting year for the American stock market. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think another thing that really want to look through is actually on the area of quantum computing, right?
Mm.
On the other side, this year I think it'll be really a testing year for AI.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
after
totally agree with
all
that.
the hype, right?
Mm.
Now is the real question. What kind of numbers are you gonna bring in with AI?
What kind of numbers in what sense?
Okay, in terms of how much does it really affect in terms of dollar and cents? Yeah,
okay.
we had all the technology hype, right? The question is
Right.
dollar and cents.
Mm. This is what I think. So in the whole of 2023, 2024, right? I think the key beneficiary in the stock market is obviously your chip maker, your Nvidia, AMD to a certain extent. Basically, the companies that are involved in inventing that groundbreaking chip.
That's right.
Okay. Then once you have the chip, right, then the next cycle, if you want to play that rotation, would be how to use this chip.
That's right.
Obviously, it will be quantum computing because that chip is so powerful that it can solve mathematical problem that is like 100 times or don't know how many times faster than the supercomputers that we have today. So going forward, I think in 2025, the biggest catalyst in the tech industry, like what you say, is the quantum computing related kind of businesses.
So that's a whole different thing from the Nvidia side,
Ah.
but AI side is definitely now we're heading on towards the quantum side of things, which Google is taking the lead certainly.
Yeah.
So it could be an interesting
Correct.
thing to see. And guess
Correct.
what? China quantum computing also is not far behind apparently.
Mhm.
So now, suddenly now it's not about semiconductor.
It's about applications.
It's not about semiconductor war here
Mm.
because it's a whole different set of technology altogether,
Mm.
and it's a whole different thing altogether. Now, and again, we are going to talk about application of AI in businesses. How much does it really help to grow or help to change certain industries? How AI will really bring in the change, right? So I think this is going to be a year where we will know whether what's the dollar and cents? That's why I say the business model at the back. Open AI,
Correct.
And now it's so easy to create your own GPT. So many people are creating their own GPT now.
Yeah.
And they use another GPT to train this GPT. You get what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Very exciting space. In fact, if you are subscribed to the ChatGPT, you will notice that inside there are a lot of applications, and most of these applications are invented by creative people to come up with different solutions for different kind of tasks. So some application can even help you to do your PowerPoint, right? So you just need to prompt the ChatGPT with the information that you want to put in your PowerPoint, and then you will come up with the slides.
Correct. So what am I trying to say, right? In that sense, also is that the opportunity here for the people out there. I think today we have already come to a stage where a lot of technical skill set is not as, I wouldn't say it's more commoditized. Okay, what do I mean by that? When you are talking about a particular AI, today if you want to write a code, ChatGPT can help you. Right? So what makes a knowledge special?
Are you going to the direction where no need to go universities anymore?
No. Not so much about that.
Okay.
But rather, the question is that what makes knowledge so special now? Because if I can GPT out something and give me an answer and information, and the GPT could be more accurate than Google search, make it into more important or more meaningful data for me, then what's next? Which suddenly lead us to the other part of the thing. Now, which means that if you are sitting on the programming end, the tech end, you better be very good with it and so creative with it.
Yep.
Means you can build from ground zero.
Yep.
Right. And you are really good in problem solving.
Yep.
Then on the other hand is that people who are not in that circle, how are you going to make use of this to create a layer of service or trust or relationship
Mm.
that helps you to benefit?
Mm.
So, what do I mean by that, right? Think about it. If, let's say, we know that AI could diagnose a disease better than doctors.
Mm-hmm.
There's a study that was done, right? AI can diagnose a disease much more accurate than doctors.
Yep.
Now, then what do you do with that information?
Mm.
That will be people who can hack that will be able to make a lot of money. So, for example, can you then build, say, a database where it self-learn by itself, assuming we say a particular program that allows you to keep patients' records, uploading it up to the cloud, and then every doctor, when they are using this that time, they can use the information there to assist them to diagnose more accurately.
Mm.
That does you get what I'm saying, right?
I get
Yeah.
I get it. I get.
Definitely it's not a full baked business model here.
Yeah.
I'm just ramping it off my head where
Mm.
the whole idea is that who will be the winner will be the person who's able to create a layer of, like I say,
Mm.
whether is it a layer of service, a layer of relationship, a layer of trust.
Yep.
That will be the thing that could actually change the industry as a
Yep.
whole.
How I see this on a personal level is that the world will change so quickly that human ourselves cannot cope with the pace to the point where everybody needs to have an AI assistant.
Mm.
Yeah. So like you mentioned just now, right? If there's a new disease, very fast, I think AI is going to come up with, okay, so this disease have this trait. You should come up with this kind of vaccine. This is how you cure it. It is so fast that maybe you don't even need scientists to deal with it. But what you need is probably an AI assistant to say, okay, then how do I predict that? Oh, perhaps in the near future, this virus is going to mutate to a certain things, and then how can I prevent it today? Then you can continue to prompt the AI to improve in that manner. You need to be ahead of AI, to put it that way, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to beat I think it is a very tiring catch up to do, and most likely you're going to lose.
So there was this article that I read the other day, and a particular phrase that they used that I thought was very appropriate for this moment, right? Is that AI is superb in terms of compiling information, but originality
Mm.
is where human can trump. Yeah. However, some AI is also very good at coming out with original composing lah,
Mm.
in music and so on lah.
Yeah.
But we can go down a whole thing into that lah.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, today we are definitely here talk a little bit more towards the money side. So in the industry, I think one space to actually pay attention to, if you remember the Nvidia boom, I think the next kind of more
Things that are related to that.
it will be things that are quantum computing,
Quantum computing,
the kind of,
more energy.
tech side will be quantum,
correct.
then the other side will be the more application side.
Right.
Yeah, like for example, web came out already, then search engine was the thing, email was the thing,
That server become the thing,
Yeah,
right?
the more application side of things will be the more sustainable hype around.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I'll be hopefully expecting. I mean, it's just a matter of time that it will come now.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
a normal cycle, right?
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, one thing that we can see also is that out of all the performance in the market, going back to it, when we are looking at stock market, it start to kind of move on the sideways already, consolidation phase at this point. Uh, Question: do you think that there are still legs to run for a rally or not? Now,
Correct.
before that, maybe I'll just share my thoughts. I think we are still at the beginning of a rally.
Mhm.
Yeah, we are not at the end of a rally, but rather we are maybe just past the initial phase.
Yep.
Yeah, if I'm being more optimistic.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't use the word optimistic because I feel that the rally will come when there's a new catalyst in the market. And I think today we are not short of any new catalyst.
Yep.
We just talk about the whole bunch about AI, that kind of stuff, right? Yes, the most immediate thing would be quantum computing, the applications and stuff like that. But if you look deeper, right, to power all these things, you need energy. Right. So we are even talking about like renewable energy, the solar power plants and stuff like that. Now in Malaysia, there's going to be a new IPO coming soon called CBH. and what they do is in the substation kind of things. So when energy is generated, it is at a very high what voltage and
Voltage.
watt, and this high voltage cannot be used at the consumer level.
Yep.
So you need a lot of substations to power up, power down, power up, power down in
That's
order
right.
to distribute evenly. So this company CBH is exactly for that, and their catalyst is that because there are more and more data centers coming up in Malaysia, there's going to be more and more demand for this kind of substation going forward. And in fact, they have closed themselves with quite a healthy number of order book with that. So that is the message that they are currently telling the investors lah. So if you guys are interested, you can go and check out the prospectus of the company, to find out more and see whether that's something that you want to venture yourself into. So
Will you be doing a coverage on that stop?
yeah, sure. I would. I would love to invite the CEO to come to the show, man. Let's do an interview with them. Yeah, if you guys got contact for me to reach out to them, also, please DM us later on. Right. But the point that I want to make here is that with the one thing that you can identify, which is AI and quantum computing, you can then how to say cascade down to look for different catalysts for yourself and invest in it. So just now I mentioned about energy, and then with all this high tech stuff and all that, then obviously we continue to talk about EV cars, right? There are a lot of ICE cars in the market today. Perhaps more and more people will start to think that maybe they want to replace the ICE car with EVs, right? So that is also one area to look at. So basically, you just need to pay more attention to the market. Then you suddenly find yourself, hey, there's actually plenty of things for you to continue to invest in 2025, even though 2024 may seem like it rallied too much and everything seems to be expensive. Yeah.
I think another thing that we want to watch, we can say in at the individual consumer level, moving on ahead in 2025 is now that we talk about energy, before we go into the industry as a whole, right? Energy is definitely going to become more expensive.
We all read the headlines.
We all read the headlines. Yeah, TNB bills.
Yeah.
So I think that for those of you out there who actually have a roof and you do have the extra cash, you may want to consider installing a solar. Now, I know that, so we did a video about it.
Yep.
I just installed solar in my house. You also have a solar panel.
Congratulations.
In your house. Yeah, thank you. So I checked my savings after close to a month. With a rainy season, I already saved about 270 over ringgit.
That's good.
About a month plus, right?
That's
And
good.
it's rainy season.
Yeah.
Right? So I can imagine if let's say it's on a good season, I may be saving about 300 ringgit. Yeah. So that's pretty good. Means I'm only paying about less than $100 for my electricity bill, which tallies.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, some people say that, wow, is it worth to be paying this like 20 over thousand upfront? Now, my logic is simple. It takes you 6 years to recover the funds, roughly about there, 6 years to ROI.
4 to 6 years.
4 to 6 years.
Mine is about 5 years something.
Yeah, depends. Huh?
Yeah.
Now, maybe better weather than
Correct.
faster law.
Correct.
Yeah, but say 4 to 6 years. The argument here, in my opinion, it's less of the timeline of being able to recover. It's more of the independence of generating electricity. Yeah, what do I mean by that, right? I think whether we like it or not, the world is somewhat going through, I wouldn't say energy crisis, but energy threat. Okay. For a very long time, we have been talking about renewable energies, right? But now, non-renewable are becoming popular again.
Especially with Trump.
Because whether you like it or not, the world's demand for energy now is crazy.
Yep.
It's cray. Just put it this way, cray, right? And renewable energy, the truth is, it's very difficult to generate the equivalent amount of demand.
Energy.
Yeah, energy demand, right? It takes a lot more to generate the same thing now. And that's why for non-renewable, there's still a long way to go. There's still a very long longevity in the business because it is still the most practical, most quick, most immediate, most time tested, proven, with a ready-made infrastructure and system.
Mm.
Yeah. Now, as the world goes on, what happened is that what if there is gonna be an energy crisis? Having that solar panel on your roof helps you to avert that a little bit lah.
Mm. Uh, in the future lah, but right now
Yeah.
with the
So
current system,
no,
yeah,
right now with the current system is okay. But what I
correct,
mean is that having a solar panel on a roof does
does
give
help
me a sense of like how to say
security.
security that if we really have an energy crisis,
Yeah,
like in certain places in US, what they do is that sometimes the power grid reset or shut down.
right.
And what happened is that this power grid, right, is shut down not because they don't have they can't provide you, is because the priority is to provide to industries.
Mm.
Yeah, is to provide to core industry.
Yep.
I can tell you with the amount of data center coming into Malaysia, if we need to have a power reset, suddenly they won't shut off data center. They will shut off housing area.
Mm.
Yeah, why do I say so, right? Is because if I shut off housing area, the most is you complain.
Mm.
If I shut off data center, the internet will collapse, man.
Correct. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you imagine Amazon's data center? You go and shut it off. Amazon will
Mm.
kill you, man. Tomorrow itself, they'll pull out all the money.
Right.
Yeah. So now we all already know that in Malaysia's case, uh, the power grid is okay at the current level.
Mm.
The question is when all this kicks in.
Mm.
Yeah. Now,
Right.
number two, also in terms of EV, right? Okay, we know that petrol is going to become more expensive. Whether you like it or not, things are going to become more and more expensive. Petrol, for one, currently we spend about, say, 400 ringgit driving an Activa,
Mm-hmm.
about 400 over ringgit a month for petrol. I've checked when you own a EV, if you do your charging at home, it basically costs you about 100 plus,
Mm.
right? 100 plus ringgit or 200 ringgit, depending on what EV size, how often do you use it, and so on. Yeah,
Mm.
I know people like argue about this, but generally that's the range that I've been seeing and getting,
Mm.
right? Yeah. Now, so let's not forget that if petrol is going to become more expensive, my Activa will be costing me 50% more roughly, which means that I'll likely spend about 600
600.
ringgit
Mm-hmm.
a month for petrol moving ahead. Yeah, if they kick in the
Rationalization.
rationalization, then yeah, having a solar panel and an EV does
Correct.
does help.
Yeah. And the thing about having a solar is that you don't need to worry how much is the nugget going to charge you going forward, because 1 kilowatt hour is 1 kilowatt hour. You just use that 1 kilowatt hour as is.
That's
Right.
right.
So you what you are spending on is the upfront investment that you need to lay out in order to install the panel. But after that, whatever that is generated is all yours.
Yeah.
Right. So that is the best part of it. And the reason why I install solar power in my house is exactly that. I didn't want to worry about like, oh, Tenaga has this ICPT imbalance cost pass-through mechanism. The base tariff is going to increase every 3 years and all that. So I don't want to be bothered by that. So one way to do that is to install it. Yes, it wouldn't cover my full electricity cost, but at least a big chunk of it is independent.
Yep.
Right. Then the remaining extra, then okay, I can't do much about it. So then just pay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, however, this logic only stands if you have the extra cash.
Yeah, that's true, because it's not cheap also to put that
That's right.
to put
That's
that
right.
thing.
And the EV one is if you already memang plan to change car lah.
Correct.
And the car is in the price range lah.
Mm.
So there are a few factors that you want to think about lah.
Yep.
So it's not as simple. I know the way that we say it. Sometimes people are like, oh, you haven't factored in the cost of changing a
Yeah.
car. You haven't factored in the cost of hey, yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying that if you memang are gonna do it, then
Correct.
on a long-term calculation, it makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes.
Right. Now, I think another thing that I want to highlight is that why I think now is a good time also because a lot of financing.
Mm.
Green financing allows you to pay at 0% interest,
Mm.
right? Now we sound like we're gonna promote solar, right? Yeah. We have actually we do have a link with Solaru. Yeah. So there's a I think it's a 5 year 0%. 3 years
it's
to 5 years,
yeah,
depending on
yeah,
yourself. You
correct,
can
correct,
talk to
correct,
them.
correct.
But basically, I picked Solaru to install for my house.
Mm.
Actually, in fact, the reason was because after we talked to a few people, we realized that one of the things that we liked about them was the micro inverter.
Yes,
Yeah, the parallel input of
correct.
yeah, it's very technical lah. But
That
basically, you watch
is
my video, then you get it lah.
that is something that I regretted. I didn't know solar rule
Correct.
earlier because I installed the conventional kind of solar.
Which is a string inverter.
Yeah, with a string inverter. So just to explain to you, because I have experience installing it, so I know how it works, right? So in a string inverter, is that they will put, like, let's say 8 pieces of solar panels together, and then they will have one string to connect all 8 pieces.
Yep.
So technically speaking, even though you install 8 pieces, but the 8 pieces act as one.
That's right.
If any of the pieces fails, the whole thing fails.
That's right.
Whereas yours, the micro inverter, it's
Independent.
It's independent. So when you install 8 panels, means you have 8 independent panels. If
Mm.
one fails, the remaining 7 is still working.
That's right.
Yeah. And in fact, right, I just found out, right, my string inverter, if let's say there's one piece of leaf drop on one of the panel, right, the whole panel's performance will be affected, right?
That's right. So
Correct.
the efficiency will be following the weakest
Correct.
panel.
Following the weakest
Yes.
panel.
So
yeah.
remember last time you do Kemahiran Hidup? There
Yes.
was a light bulb.
Ah,
Yeah. Try to imagine the string inverter as like the light bulb together in one line. So if one light bulb bursts,
everything fails.
everything fails.
Yep.
Yeah. Or either it's parallel or input directly like that.
Mm.
So that's the same case here. Yeah, and for that reason, yeah, in fact, what happened is that when we spoke to Soraru, I still remember Frankie go and ask Han this question. Hey, can I just change?
Yeah.
Can I just install my inverter? I remember you
Yeah,
asked him
yeah,
that. No, I cannot. Doesn't work that way, right?
Can. You
Yeah.
change the whole
You
system.
have to change the whole system. We were
Change the
telling
whole
him.
system, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it works out.
Mm.
Now, nonetheless, we do have we actually work with them now. We asked them for a special deal for our viewers. If I'm not wrong, it was I can't remember what's the deal.
It's a special rate, like your
Special rate, you'll go and check it out.
Because
Yeah,
different
discount
capacity.
600 ringgit and something like that
Because the capacity, different capacity got different price. So I also very hard to tell you how much is it.
Yeah.
So you need to consult them. They will give you the quotation, and every quotation will come with a special discount for you
Correct.
guys.
So anyway, just for those of you guys this year, if you are thinking about like doing something new, you got some extra money to spend, and you really want to spend it, I think it is probably a good year to look at two things: solar panel and EV car. The reason being is because CBU EV car this year will be the final year of
tax-free.
Tax-free. After this year, it will not be tax-free anymore for CBU EV cars, but only for CKD EV cars. Right. So which means that by 2026, you are gonna start to see more CKD EV cars, which chances are, I'm not sure, chances are you will see cheaper EV models in the market. Yeah. Although so far the
EMAS 7
wasn't very convincing. Yeah. That wasn't very convincing.
But technically, that one is a CBU, right? That one is
but
still a
with
CBU.
lower feature and more expensive in price.
Correct.
Yeah, so people weren't very happy with that. Yeah, nonetheless, that's the thing. Now, but we can see in terms of, let's go back to the investment market wise. I was reading about it. Apparently, one of the market that's very stable is Forex. Not as in stable as in it doesn't move. Stable as in the conviction. All of them still believe that US dollar will be holding strong. Which
okay.
if I'm a forex trader also, yeah lah. Because that's what Trump talked about throughout the whole thing, right?
Well, but in order for US dollar to be strong, the first thing is interest rate cannot cut so much, right?
And it already happened.
Yeah, and it already happened. They already
happening,
signal you that next year don't have so many.
So you see, as much as Trump say whatever he say, in my opinion, this time round, right, he may have surrounded himself with some right advisors. Yeah, and you think about it, this time round, quite a few of his advisors are business people. They are not policy people.
Yep.
So at least in the short term, they will be looking at short term good things.
Correct.
But again, this is due to my lack of understanding in US overall political scene with my
Mm.
limited knowledge of it.
Which is true lah. I mean, technically speaking, government is all about welfare, taking care of the people. So even though they hire too many people, they would somehow keep them in the position, as long as things are okay. But when you have business people on the job, they all talk about efficiency. So as long as the people is sitting there doing nothing, you cut. Right? Sitting there do nothing, you cut, right? So that's how I think going forward, US is going to save money, save budget. Hopefully, it will help in their budget deficit and all that, and then come out with a stronger economy. That is yet to be proven and yet to be seen. Because while the budget deficit may look good, but on the other hand, you are creating more unemployment and stuff like that.
Mm.
So how is it going to offset each other or amplify each other, right? That is yet to be proven and yet to be seen, but it will be something interesting to look at because I don't think any government has done this kind of like efficiency exercise before,
Yep.
right?
So it's quite interesting that he brought in Elon Musk to do the Dodge thing.
Mm.
Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to what he'll bring about. Now, another thing, let's go back a little bit to Malaysia, lah,
Mm.
right? Let's talk about ASEAN a little bit. Yeah, ASEAN, Malaysia is hosting ASEAN this year.
Yep, we are the chairman of ASEAN in
That's right.
2025.
Chairman of ASEAN. Looks like there'll be a lot of happenings.
Yep.
What do you look forward to with this whole ASEAN thing?
Okay, if you notice, ASEAN is the world's third largest economy
Mm.
after what do you call that? No, sorry, the fifth. After US, China, Japan, Germany, we are number 5 as ASEAN. Now, why we are able to become that big is because all 10 countries are collaborating with each other. If you separate these 10 countries into singular units, right, it's very hard for us to do something to fight against the big giants. But when we're together, we're number 5.
That's right.
Right? And Malaysia being the chairman this year is very important because we are at the forefront to try to shape ASEAN in the next 12 months.
Mm.
So we better come up with something solid and something collaborating so that perhaps we can improve our position to number 4 instead of number 5. And I think there's a chance for us to become that because Germany is not doing very well. Japan is also not doing very well. Even China is not doing very well. So when everybody seems to be like falling quite a bit, and if we can hold the fort well enough, there is a chance. There's really a chance that we can push forward to become a better region.
Yeah, I think for me, what's interesting about this year's ASEAN is number one, like I say, in the macro skill set, not macro skill set, macro scale,
Yeah.
right? What we are seeing is, like you say, Germany is not doing well. Basically, the whole world is not doing great, lah. And we are also in the moment where the world spotlight is shining on ASEAN naturally because of geographical location and US-China trade war.
Yep.
Now it's all about China plus one, right? And we sit just right at the place where it's a perfect place for investing. Now, and by natural standards, actually India would be a better place. However, India infrastructure development is still far.
All right.
And corruption, and stuff like that. So far away. ASEAN, on the other hand, sits very well. Now, and why very well also is because ASEAN nations are more, in a way, you don't have to be so scared of ASEAN. Because
it's one of the safest region in the world.
Yes, and also in the political perspective, you think about it. If now you try to make India into the next China, you are also afraid that it becomes the next threat. But ASEAN is gonna be hard to be a threat because ASEAN is a little bit too far to get there, lah. Put it this way. Right? Even if you may want to worry, it's gonna be many years later. Yeah. And number 2, there is no single country domination. It is generally every country rather equal. In fact, Malaysia is considered a number 2, right? Or number 2 or number 3 lah. Yeah, together with Indonesia, all those lah. Now, what I look forward to in ASEAN moving ahead is really if we are able to build something like Euro, right? I think one of the biggest benefit of Euro was before the Brexit time, you can see how they were able to share resources in terms of talent. Yeah. And if we can achieve something like that, that would be quite interesting.
Mm.
Yeah. If we are able to allow talent pool to cross.
Mm.
Now, in my opinion, that is also something very important for Malaysia.
Yep.
Because Malaysia birth rate is declining.
Mm.
For those of you who are investing in properties, especially residential properties, this is not great news. Yeah. But if Malaysia have somewhat of an open migration policy, that could be a great news suddenly. Because you got now
Free
new
flow.
free flow of people coming in, people are allowed to buy property and stuff like that. There's good
Mm.
and bad in this whole thing, one.
Yeah,
Like
there's a lot of political
yeah,
issues of doing that.
political issues,
Yeah.
and like Singapore, that they that's why property prices become very expensive, stuff like that.
Mm.
Also lack of land and stuff like that. But the point that I want to make is that maybe, just maybe, if we can this time have a proper migration system or policies in place that attract higher higher skill set talents, not lower skill set talents.
Mm.
So put it this way, we are going to see expat on the street more rather than uh yeah,
Mm.
yeah, lower skilled worker.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can end up walking down the street, we see people from Myanmar, people from Thailand, people from Vietnam or Philippines, and they are from the more upper end of
Mm.
the supply chain and the skill set.
Yep.
Then I think that will be something really exciting for us.
Yep. Because you see in the past, right, all the collaborations we have in ASEAN is on the policy level, right? And because of that, and thankfully because of that, Toyota, Honda, they can set up plants in Indonesia, in Thailand, and when they import cars to Malaysia, it is still relatively cheaper than, let's say, you import it from Europe or other parts of the world. So that's the benefit that we reap as Malaysian in ASEAN because of all these policies. Now, if all these policymakers can bring these policies down one level to the immigration level, that's a whole different story. You're talking about movement of talent within the region. Then what will happen is that, okay, let's say, for example, AI and the hub is in Penang. Then let's just open up Penang and let the Thais, the Vietnamese, and the Cambodian who are really good in technology to go there.
That's
Right.
right.
And then if Thailand is so good with cars, then all the cars talent should go there.
That's right.
Then that would create that super economics of scale, right? And I think that is the time we really unlock the potential of ASEAN
That's right.
to become something really, really
That's
big.
right. It's kind of like back then, German is the place for all the cars.
For the cars,
right?
yeah. UK is a financial hub, yeah, that
Mm.
kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we already got a financial hub in ASEAN.
Yeah. Singapore, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that will be exciting, right? If let's
Mm.
say that happens. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it will be able to open up a lot more opportunities, because it's not just about locally how it benefit Malaysia. You think about it, it also allows Malaysians to cross to another nation and go and do business there.
Mm.
Yeah, which is already happening. But
Yeah,
today,
but not so convenient yet.
yeah, not so convenient. Today,
Yeah.
like say you will go Myanmar do business, not so convenient yet.
Mm.
But if you can come to a level like like European Union, EU like that,
Mm.
you know how they just go over to the next country and they set up shop immediately,
Mm.
right? The
Yeah.
travel passport is just
Yeah. They
chop
all look
only,
the same,
they all look
the
the same,
currency is the same, everything the
is the
same.
same. I
Yeah.
think that'll be quite cool. Yeah,
Mm.
I mean we have been talking about an ASEAN currency for the longest of time, but don't know, man. Maybe this time around when they bring all the central bankers together, they may be talking about that.
Mm.
That
You know,
could be a way of
somebody has to take the initiative lah. And this year the initiative may come from Malaysia lah.
if let's say it come from Malaysia, that could be something that really during Anwar's tenure, wow, his legacy, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Creating a
able to
legacy.
initiate a unified currency,
Hmm.
or either even a payment system lah. Doesn't matter lah.
Right.
Looks like QR is gonna be the thing.
Mm.
QR adoption in the whole ASEAN will likely be the thing, because I think even before this ASEAN we're already starting to see it already. You can use touch and go,
Or Grab.
Grab,
Yeah. But
everywhere
those are
around.
very company centric kind of system. What
That's
if we have a regional system? Yeah.
That's right. So who knows? Yeah,
Mhm.
who knows? This could be the thing to go on,
Mhm.
right? And actually, if you think about it, there are quite a lot of their countries, like for example, even Philippines, Indonesia, they they, they have a lot of very good talent. Even in Vietnam, you know, sometimes I talk to those people, like you see them working, like you think that they're low skill, but when you ask them, they're actually mathematics degree
Mm.
graduate,
Mm. They got no
chemist graduate.
opportunities.
It's just that they got no opportunity, so they
Yeah.
come in and wash car.
Yeah.
So it's like
A bit sad.
a bit sad, right? Yeah, the last time that I spoke to this lady as well, right? Uh, she was like a waitress, but she's actually a teacher back in
Mm.
her country, and she teaches physics.
Wow.
Yeah, come here become
Okay.
waitress.
Wow.
So imagine if there's a way that we can, really harvest such talent, because
Mm.
let's be honest, right? Malaysia is facing a shortage of talent,
Mm.
skilled talent, and if we can concentrate everything, and we got the advantage where industry wise, high tech industry wise, we are favored in that sense, because we're gonna have data centers,
Mm.
we have
Yeah,
we have
Penang.
Penang,
Yeah.
we are gonna have Korean town. I don't know how does that affect, but I'm just randomly throwing.
Okay.
The Korean
Yeah.
town in
Right.
Johor, right?
Uh,
Yeah.
so then
Anyway,
we can have some Korean stars, K-pop stars from there.
yeah. Hey, do you know that Malaysia is one of the largest Korean market?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes.
Uh,
Korean cosmetic, Malaysia is one of the largest market.
oh,
In ASEAN,
right.
we have the largest market. So how did I
Mm.
know about this, right? Was because I met some people selling cosmetic here,
Mm.
selling Korean cosmetic, and they're Koreans,
Mm.
now stay here for 10 years already.
Mm.
He said that when you study the whole thing, Malaysia is really into Korean cosmetic.
That's true. There are a lot of Korean hair salon here also.
That's right.
Yeah, and they
Korean
purposely
beauty product.
migrate here to start a business here. Move
Correct.
the family here.
That's right.
Yeah. So I suppose that is quite real, lah.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah, for those who think about e-com stuff, maybe, who knows?
Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah. So, those are part and parcel of all those things that can get quite exciting in the year of 2025.
Yes.
Now, I think the last thing to actually address is cryptocurrency lah.
Ah.
Can't go very far lah. Oh.
That day I was reading one article, right? The prediction for 2025 is out already, and apparently a lot of
Ooh.
people are expecting by the end of this year it's going to be 200,000.
200,000, huh?
Now, not I say one, is the article say
Article 7, Article 7.
I'm just
Not we
referring
say
to
one,
the
not we
article.
say one, okay?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the article I read from is from TradingView lah.
Okay. Right.
Mm.
Interesting. Now, I think what's gonna be interesting for this year in terms of cryptocurrency is,
Is what
yeah,
is
whether you
the,
like it or not,
it's going to be mainstream.
yeah, it's gonna be mainstream. But this could affect the the way Bitcoin has been behaving. What do I
Mm.
mean by that is that previously Bitcoin was always invested by retail investors,
Mm.
but this time around there's institutional investor.
Yep.
And we are talking about institutional investor who try to accumulate as much as they can.
Which is already happening. I think more and more companies are putting Bitcoin as part of their
Treasury.
treasury reserve.
That's right.
Yeah, so that would change the dynamics of how people should look at Bitcoin.
That's right.
But I still think 2025 is still too early to talk about a very structural kind of change. I think it is still very heavily dependent on technical analysis, right? And that is the reason why I have been trying to learn up more about technical analysis when it comes to cryptocurrency, because you also know me, I come from more fundamental kind of background, right? So technical analysis is not my turf. I've been trying to look out for something to learn and stuff like that. And if you guys follow FAQ show, I've interviewed this guy called Jose, right? In a 4 episodes with Afin Huang Investment Banks to talk about futures market. So this guy is very interesting. He is a professional trader and he gives trainings to exchanges around the world. He gives trainings to investment banks and stuff like that. So then I asked him, what do you teach, right? Like technical analysis comes from experience and all that. So apparently he designed his own technical indicators, and his technical indicators is called the UFOs. UFO stands for unfilled orders. So when he said that, okay, I immediately understand, because as a trader myself, we always look at the cues in a trade. when a queue is particularly heavy in one of the price range, right? We know that there's going to be a lot of activities in
Yep.
that price range. So the UFOs identifies that, right? And then it gives confidence to the trader that if price were to move to that price range, it's going to happen in a certain behavior. It's as simple as that. So I said, oh, okay, so that's what you do. And what's so special about it until you need to give training? So he said, I've actually patented that UFO. So if you go to TradingView, you can actually access to UFO indicators if you want to, but it comes with a subscription. The subscription he said is US dollar 377 for a year. I said, wow, so expensive. Then we no need to play a deal, right? How much I need to trade in order to make that amount of money?
Why do you think it's expensive if you believe it can help you make money?
Because my capital is more, right? This is not ringgit, it's 377 US dollar. So I say, yeah, if I have more money, then definitely helps and all that. Then he said, hey, you guys are doing content, right? So do you plan to like do something together lah? And then I said, okay, if this is really beneficial, then we can talk about it.
Right. You
So-
better test first, You test first
Correct.
for the. I know you have
Correct.
tested for a few days, right?
I have tested for a few days. It seems okay.
Yeah.
But,
So we'll see. We'll
yeah,
see in the next.
We'll see in the maybe next week or the week after, we can give another updates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I can share my
Right.
my experience in.
That's right.
in,
That's right. Yeah.
Sing-
So far from what I heard from you, it's
so
it's
far
not bad, and
so
I've
far
seen
so
it.
good.
Also not bad. So far so good. But
Yeah.
but again,
Right.
it's not long enough to really say.
Correct.
But nonetheless,
Mm.
it is just a tool. It
Mm.
is as good as seeking alpha, right?
It is like your moving average.
Yeah,
your
it's a moving
MACD,
average,
yeah,
all
that
kind of stuff. Lah. So
Yeah.
nonetheless, we may, if we think that it's solid, we may actually collaborate with him to do some stuff. Yeah?
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
and,
So let's see.
Because there are many people who ask us like, hey, I'm actually quite interested in trading, right?
Mm.
So can I then learn about trading?
Mm.
So just to share with you guys, this guy, he has been engaged by Bank Negara and all these Affin, all the different big banks,
Mm.
both locally and overseas, even regulatory bodies to provide trainings.
Mm.
So seems legit, right? I mean, he's quite legit lah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just that we still want to.
We need to know for sure ourselves first.
Yeah, we need
Correct.
to know for sure that his knowledge level and
Yeah.
what he share is strong. Then
Mm.
we'll definitely share with you all some what we honestly think about it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that'll be UFO, right?
UFO.
Yeah. Nonetheless, for those of you who want to find out more about it, we are gonna attach a link. Do you have a link in terms of like where to know more about them? Not a selling link, but
Yes. So maybe you can help to pull out the link on the
I think
UFO.
just put your video lah, right?
My video. No, my video talks about.
No, remember you had an interview with him?
Correct. I do, but the video didn't talk about the UFO. The video talk about something else. Talk about the markets.
Right.
But if you want to know more about him, then perhaps you can check out the video.
I can put these two links up, lor.
Yeah. Maybe you can. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, the other link is for them to find out about.
Yeah,
what
to find
UFO.
out, to read up more about it. If you go to YouTube, you search for UFO and auto climate. It's another indicator. He actually throw out a lot of free courses for you to look at as well. Now, if you click on the link, right? So just now I mentioned it's 377 US dollar, but he is giving our audience another price of 987 ringgit. So if you're interested, you are confident of using it, then you can use our link to go and check it out.
But we are not endorsing it yet, yeah.
We are not endorsing it because we are
not endorsing anything.
we are still testing it ourselves because we also don't know what is it. It's my first time exposed to it and I was intrigued by it. Wow, you can actually design your own indicator like that. Then I want to see for myself how it works.
Yeah. So you'll go and check it out, okay? Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, I think this year you'll be quite excited with trading, right?
I don't know. It's just my first week.
Actually, no lah. I think generally you're already excited with trading. It's just what tool you're gonna use
What
to
tool
trade.
I'm gonna use? Now I got new screwdriver and
Yeah,
spanner.
new screwdriver and spanner. Yeah. Okay. I think one thing that I'm still eyeing about in terms of Bitcoin is the whole idea of it being more mainstream, because up to today, Bitcoin's market cap is about 2 trillion today, roughly about 2 trillion. The global asset financial asset is about 400 trillion.
Mm.
400 trillion. And what I think we are looking at is it means that at this point right now, at 2 trillion, you are 0.5%.
Just
Yeah.
a drop in the ocean.
A
Lah.
drop in the
Yeah.
ocean. Yeah.
It's so the point I want to make is it is very easily to grow even bigger. Lah.
That's right. That's right. If you think about it, right?
Mm.
In terms of gold, gold 8 trillion
Mm.
is in jewelry.
Huh.
8 trillion of it is jewelry.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Uh.
Now, private investment about 4 trillion, central bank about 3.1, reserve is about 3.1,
Mm.
industrial use is about 2.7 trillion.
Mm.
Yeah. Now, currently Bitcoin is about 2 trillion.
Mm.
Now, let's say you just take half of it.
Half of gold's value.
So let's say you just go up to say you just match the level of central bank reserve candy lah.
Mm.
3 lah. You're still talking about 50% growth.
Mm.
50% means 150.
Mm.
Then when the market go crazy with a pump, I'm not surprised if it's 200. But then
Mm.
once you hit that, I think it'll drop again.
We'll see how lah, because today is just the second day of the year, right? We still have
Never know,
360
never know,
more
never
days to go, right?
Yeah. So the
very hard
point
to
that I
say.
want to say is that whatever that you're going to be investing in, whether is it stocks, whether is it Bitcoin, I think
Mm-hmm.
today at the start of the year, you need to start thinking about your exit already.
Mm.
Don't think about exit only at the time. You need to start asking yourself today, when are you going to exit?
But more importantly, is be disciplined. Once it hits the price range,
That's right.
then all the emotions will come in and
That's
say,
right.
maybe I should wait a bit longer.
Okay, that one is managing.
Mm.
So then the key is, at least by then you are not asking yourself this question, hey, actually what should I do? Hey, actually, is this the right time to chow?
Mm.
No. It should be by then you know this is the right time to leave the market because of reason A, B, C, D. Now, it can be a personal reason.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that it has to be, you have to time the market to perfection.
Mm.
No one sells at the peak.
Mm.
Very rare. Very rare. Most people sell a little bit below a peak,
Yeah.
like that one. So don't bother timing it to perfection. Now start thinking about when are you going to exit. And by the time you hit your personal target, you should take some profit already. Yeah.
Mm.
So we are giving a very pour cold water advice.
Good
Right?
lah. Good. Yeah.
By then we are not going to talk about this.
Mm.
By then no point saying.
Correct.
Maybe we'll just replay this video.
Okay, we record it down and next time we replayed it.
That's right. Now, any last things that you want to share with the people for 2025? Anything that you look forward to in terms of our live or podcast or anything like that?
Yeah, hopefully we are going to come up with more shows. If you guys have any ideas of how we can improve with our shows, what kind of topic that we should talk about, send us a DM, or send us a message, and we will try ways to make it happen so that we can continue to make good contents for you guys.
So for me, maybe I'll just share with everyone this thing. I think moving ahead in this year, firstly, we want to bring more curated podcasts to everyone. So for those of you listening to the Real Money Show online, we may be moving towards a more curated position where in future you are not going to be hearing just purely live session of us talking, but rather maybe there's going to be guests, it's going to be more well prepared, it's going to be more long form, right? That's something that we're trying to work towards. Now, number 2, we may be hosting a lot more real live sessions where we are going to have events outside and getting you guys to join us as live audience, and we're going to have a chat there, and maybe we're also going to start going towards more niche kind of thing. Like, for example, maybe Frankie will be starting to do more specific related to investment kind of thing, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So I would say that 2025 will be a year where we want to double down on building stronger engagement with you guys. Yeah, to build stronger, real, genuine engagement, not just online, but rather physically, face to face, and more curated manner lah.
Yep. At the end of the day, if you don't get anything from our content, at least you get to meet new people and make new friends.
That's
And all
right.
these friends have one thing in common, which they all listen to our podcast and tune into
Yeah.
our content.
Oh no, more like they all want to make some money.
They want to make some money. Yeah, that's a good common factor to mingle around.
All right. So that's all about it for
Mm.
whatever that we have to share for today.
Yep.
Yeah. Frankie, is there any questions there that you want to answer?
No, I don't think we have time for questions. It's already crossed 9 p.m.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's all about it. Thank you
Mm.
very much. We will see you guys next week.
Bye bye.